People are very strange. Like, very, very strange. Um, Specifically, um, many people think that they, so to be specific, many people think that they have to always say what's on their mind, even if it's negative. You can say what's on your mind. Just keep in mind, however, that when you do that, when it's something negative, like before you say it, you should probably think, is this gonna help this person in any way or will it hurt them? If it's not gonna help them, it's only gonna hurt them, and yes, hurt their feelings. Then it's not necessary to say what you want. Remember, it always comes with consequences. Um, and for those of you that do that, like, so for instance, if you're gonna tell somebody, um, about, oh, you have acne, or oh, you need braces, what you do is you help them with that afterwards. Don't just comment on it. Help them with it afterwards. And so yeah, people are strange in that way. Another thing which I've always hated and which I don't understand, and if you're guilty of doing this, um stop immediately, which is if you get upset over another grown adult, even if they're, let's say they're 18, hell, even if they're a minor, that's none of your business if you're not their parent. If you're not their parent, if you're not, you know what I mean, you shouldn't care whether or not the person is working. Because unfortunately, I've had multiple experiences with people being weirdos and getting mad about the fact that I didn't have a job when I was a teenager. So I went to Job Corps, and a lot of the residents there and RAs, with RA, it's residential advisor, so a lot of the staff and the residents would be mad that I didn't wasn't working, and though it wasn't all in my head, them being mad, or it wasn't some shit I made up. So like, Job Corps is a school you can live on or off campus, and I lived on campus. Um, we really didn't have nowhere else to go. Um, and Job Corps, you go to school for 8 hours. It's from like 8, or maybe from 9 to 5. So that's 8 hours of school. For me, I didn't know it when I was in elementary school, but I've always had social anxiety and always been hard for me in school and had an IEP. And that's the same thing when it came to come to working. Like, I've had social anxiety before I even started working. I would have social anxiety about working, like afraid of, oh, if I'm a cashier, I'm gonna hold the line up, because I always have had to count my money with the biggest denomination starting first. So first quarters, then dimes, then nickels and pennies. That's how I always had to count it. And imagine having to do that as a cashier. You would hold up the line, right? Um, so yeah, like, but once I did start working, I only started working because the RAs would be coming in like after school. I would rest because again, it was 8 hours long, 8 to like 5 o'clock, the classes. And they'll be like, "Why are you not working? Because you're lazy," like getting mad and shit. And then I would over here rest, but I've never seen her work, so that's why I got a job. But when I got the job, it was at the mall. Um, I'm not gonna say what store, because yeah, I just don't get too much information. But once I got the job, I almost quit right away. But thankfully, I'm surprised I never got fired, because I refused to become a cashier. It was at a retail store, a clothing store. I'll say that. And I said, I'm afraid, because I'm gonna, when I'm in the interview, that I'm gonna hold the line up. I'm afraid to be a cashier because I'm afraid I'm gonna hold the line up. So Thankfully, they didn't force me to be that, but I was working on the floor, on the sales floor, and I did horrible at that. But I did get a little bit better and it got easier over time. Like right when I was about to quit, I'm like, let me just try to wait it out some more and to become a little bit easier. But it was still always difficult for me, like interacting with customers, stuff like that. Um, and also because I was paying a phone bill at the time, so yeah. Um, Point of this is don't assume that because oh yeah, they were getting mad because I was and I wasn't very smart. You could still need IPs and stuff like that and be very smart. Um, and because I speak articulate and all that, even though I rarely talked. Um, I think that's due to me having autism, but um, because elementary school I wouldn't talk unless spoken to, so that likely social anxiety, and then my dad suspects autism because he knows people that were people with autism. But yeah, um, so they just don't assume like for those reasons, me having social anxiety and autistic and all that, not knowing until I got older, it'll be hard for me to not only to once I started working, which is hard for me, but like to keep a job. It's always been so. Yeah, getting mad at another adult for not working is stupid. You don't know if they have any mental, and yes, you can still work if you're autistic or if you have mental, like challenges, but everybody is different. And for me, I have to work once I'm mentally ready to work. And in the meantime, what I do is, yes, I'll use government assistance and figure it out. I was gonna say a lot of people, they're mad because, well, and jealous because they mad because they, if you see somebody not working, oh, I'm working and they're not, and so they feel triggered and jealous. But it's like, don't be mad at the person. They can't be mad at the system, the government. Shit. And it don't make you no better if you have a job, if you're working or not. Because as soon as I did start working, they were all nice to me. That's why people are hella strange and fake. Like as soon as I did get the job, they were all of a sudden being nice, not being mean and rude and shit like that. But I sent an email out like, they shouldn't be worried about whether or not I'm working or not. When I was contemplating quitting, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that." That you, it's like, yeah, you don't assume that somebody can easily work because most likely it's for a reason, even if you don't understand that reason. Just feel like I have a pimple right here, but I don't. Um, but yeah, just okay. The moral of this video is to mind your own business and don't assume someone sounds quote unquote normal, um, and it's unarticulate that they can't possibly have like any mental challenges. Remember, a lot of disabilities you can't see. Like someone has